What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to talk about an interesting subject. I wish, in a really weird way, that I was wrong about everything that comes up in a lot of these conversations surrounding guitars. Um, what inspired this idea was a comment on a video that I made about the cost of guitars I guess it was in the podcast yesterday. And somebody said, I think this is all driven by greed. And okay, I understand that when people don't have a firm grasp of economics, that it can look like that. I get that. I mean, I understand where a lack of understanding and education on this topic, which not everybody is, I get why they could maybe say that, but it's just not true. Okay. When you look at the cost structures and everything and cost of goods and importing and all this stuff, like of a Gibson guitar or of a Fender guitar or whatever, our pickups, for example, they kind of are what they are. And there are hidden costs and there are intangible costs. There are cost of goods. There's like lots of different things that come into play. And the reason I say I wish I was wrong is because can you imagine the controversy, the absolute insanity that would bring if this person was right and I was wrong? What if? Can you imagine if the CEO of a company or whatever, this has happened before, where the CEO of a company will say something stupid. I don't know about the guitar industry, like we're just out here to take everybody's money and be a jerk and whatever. Let's say somebody recorded that in a meeting. Can you imagine like the scandal that would surround that company? That would make excellent content. Like that would make, we would talk about that for weeks. It just happened in the knife world where Bark River Knives out of Escanaba, Michigan, admitted that they were using Chinese steel knife blanks, grinding them into knives in their facility in Michigan, and then putting Made in USA on them. Just lying, right? Huge scandal. Company went out of business. Whole big deal. Made great content for people for a few weeks. So that would make amazing content if that was true, but it's not. It's not. What are some other things? I mean, obviously the Tonewood thing. And I'm not saying it's wrong or right. Everybody has different feelings on it. But if there was, I mentioned this last week, if there was, and I'll put my money where my mouth is on this, like real money. If there was an actual scientific study that could be done, that we could get a university involved and we could get, some peer-reviewed papers written, not just students, not just some dork on the internet, not just some, nerd who makes YouTube videos like me. I'm talking about like real science here. And there was some investment in it. Then I would find the funding to document it and make a documentary around it, because I think all of us would appreciate seeing something like that and where they got to that, right? So I think that if I was wrong, that would be great, because then there would be a whole different approach to doing everything that we do, and we would actually learn some definitive stuff, and we would have real things to share and not just meaningless anecdotes that people tried to, well, my buddy tapped on a guitar and I have had two different kinds of guitars and, all that kind of stuff. If we had like real science, and the people that were wrong and the people that were, you know what I mean? Like it would be great. I think it would be great, to be wrong about that. If you think about, some of the stuff is more opinion based, like do vintage guitars have, different mojo and that kind of stuff. And you could go down all these various roads. Another big one just came up. I know Phil just talked about it. Phil McKnight talked about influencers getting paid for reviews and et cetera. There's been a lot of conversation surrounding that. And the bottom line is this: there's no such thing as a free lunch. We never get anything given to us for free. Are there dishonest people? Absolutely. There's dishonest people in every business. But does that mean that every person who does a review that gets a free piece of gear, because it's not free, it's not free, does that mean that they, are all of a sudden captured and are going to say something absolutely, you know, if that was a lie, if we did find out that somebody was doing something like that, we'd all talk about it. It'd make great content, and it would probably reform some things about how we do things to make sure that we don't get caught up in that. I mean, I already do, but I already do what I can do to not get caught up in that. But that's what I'm saying. Those kinds of controversies, if they were to be true, I'm not saying it would be good, because I think it would be bad for everybody. But when those things come out, it is good, because you start to understand who the honest people are, who the dishonest people are, because there's dishonest people everywhere. For example, yeah, I think there's just lots of things like that where you're like, I wish we were wrong about some of this stuff so that the content would have more purpose. You know what I mean? It's sort of tiring to talk about a lot of this stuff over and over, because here's why, is because human nature is going to make to where certain things happen all the time. Right? They're always going to be a certain way. You're always going to have people arguing about Tonewood. You're always going to have Fender people against Gibson people. You're always going to have, right? That's just part of being humans. So those things are always going to happen. And of course, my brain is like, from an engineering standpoint, is like, I want to see right, wrong, data, etc. But we know that that's never going to happen, because the nature of what we do is so emotionally driven, which is super cool. So that's why none of this stuff is ever going to really get proven wrong. Like, I kind of wish it was. It'd be fun, but it probably won't. Things are just going to keep going on like they are. And we're going to keep making YouTube videos. We're going to keep making pickups. We're going to make your guitars sound better. We're going to make you play better. I know that's a myth, but we're going to make you play better because you feel better. If you feel better, you're going to play better. If your guitar is cooler, you're going to play better. So we're going to keep doing it. And everybody that makes YouTube videos, everybody that talks about this in the comments, we're all going to keep doing our thing. The world's going to keep going round and round. And we'll be here for it. We will definitely be here for it. I'm not going anywhere.